Op turns to a local subreddit for help when his brother gets trapped in the Buffalo blizzard of 2022, which claimed 47 lives. Another user saves his brother and recounts the experience in which they almost became the 48th and 49th lives lost. Editor's note: for some general info, Buffalo, New York, is known for its snowy winters, but the blizzard of 2022 has been called the storm of a lifetime. 48 inches, 122 centimeters, of snow fell in about 48 hours. With the wind chill, the temperature was minus 30 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 34 degrees Celsius. The conditions were so bad that emergency services were suspended. 47 people died. Original post by you/Junzeman. Op made a post in r/Buffalo that was titled, "I need urgent help. My brother has been stuck in his car since the afternoon. He is near X address and is running out of gas. We have tried our best to contact the fire department, police, and tow companies but haven't received any help yet. Please, someone help me. Any help or suggestions would be greatly appreciated." A comment from a local about the conditions in the area. Volunteer firefighter here. Our trucks cannot move in this snow. We are getting stuck and cannot get to anyone at the moment. At least 50% of the town's fire apparatuses are stuck somewhere. I hate to say this, but if you can contact him, tell him help is probably not coming. He is going to have to get resourceful, knock on doors, do something. There is nothing we can do at the moment. We are snowed in at the fire hall. Comment left by you/Spore211215. I live close by, I can bring some gas and warm clothes, possibly. If he's up for it, I can walk him back to that fire hall. I live near that area. Update 1 day later. Posted by you/Spore211215. Saw another post on here saying someone was stuck on Genesee Street near Crabapples. Well, I think to myself, hey, I only live about half a mile from there. I bet I could help this person, and I make the decision to go. He's been stuck there all day, and his clothes got wet from the snow while trying to leave, so I knew he needed help. So, I'm getting myself ready. I grab what little gas I have, some food and water in case he needs any, and some warm clothes and a blanket for him. Then I gear myself up. I put on thick hiking socks, sweatpants, a backpack to carry my gear, puffy snow pants, a Hanes white tee, 2 sweaters, a jacket, a high-vis vest, thick leather winter gloves, insulated winter muck boots, a headband, and a motorcycle helmet to help combat the snow and wind. So, it's time to head out. It's about 11 p.m., the wind gusts are still ripping outside, and snowdrifts can bring visibility down to zero. The motorcycle helmet is a mixed bag, helpful in some ways but also letting snow get stuck in my face, but overall, it was a good choice. Now, let me tell you, going to get this man was difficult. I'm a taller man myself, so the snowbanks weren't as much of a struggle for me, but unfortunately, when the snowdrifts reach up to my mid-thigh and every step has my foot dropping all the way down into the snow with no resistance, it turns just walking into a big task in itself. So, I'm making my way down the street, and it is difficult. I get that I'm wearing a motorcycle helmet and that it's hard to breathe in, but even when the visor was lifted, it was still hard to breathe, not only because of the snow constantly blowing in my face but also because walking itself was exhausting. I'm in decent shape, but trudging through those drifts is no easy task. Eventually, I make it down my street and a few streets over, switching between easier and near impossible spots of walking along the way. I get to an automotive business, and their building blocks a lot of the snow, allowing me to walk like normal for once in a long while. I keep trekking, but now I'm near a main road without buildings as densely packed, so the snow drifts are blinding at points, and I need to focus on buildings and objects to know where I'm going. Eventually, I make it to the man's car after a good 40 minutes of walking, even though I only traveled 0.6 miles. So, I get to the car and give him some clothes because that's mostly what he was interested in. He didn't care for any gas, food, or water, but I made sure to offer it to him just to be sure. He changes and gets ready to make the trek himself with my help. After a few minutes, he's ready, and we're on our way. He says he talked with someone and has a house he can go to for warmth and safety for the night, about 0.3 miles away. Alright, sounds good, let's head there. We make our way there. The man is not well dressed for the weather, but you've got to work with what you've got. He has regular sneakers on, his pants, my snow pants that I gave him, the hat I gave him, the sweater I gave him, and his shirt underneath. He throws a blanket over his head as a kind of protection against the wind and snow. It's bad out. My tracks from just a few minutes ago are all but gone, but I know the way I'm going, so it's alright. We walk up the road to the cross street and quickly cross. It's hard to see or hear anything, so we can't really tell if a plow is coming, and we act fast to stay safe. Then we make it to the side street. Well, needless to say, that street hasn't been plowed in ages. Snow drifts reach near my chest, and with no paths available, it's time to trailblaze and make our own. We need to make it maybe 9 or 10 houses into the street, but with snow like this, we're barely progressing at all. I'm dressed for the conditions, so I'm only getting tired. The man I'm helping isn't doing great. Snow is accumulating on his face, and he occasionally falls into the snowbanks and needs to recover. When we get near houses that block the wind, we take a break and relax because we need the energy to make it to this house and can't give up. After more struggles, we eventually make it to the house, about 0.3 miles in 30 or so minutes. The person living in the house graciously lets us both in. I recover by warming up a little bit. The snow that accumulated on me just starts dripping and melting, which I know is a bad sign, so I make my stop short to avoid being drenched on my trek back. The man I helped is very thankful and gets comfortable and warm for the first time in hours. But I can't stay long, so I tell him I'm glad he is safe, thank the homeowner/renter, whoever the man that let me in was, and head back out. Now, I'm on my way back home. It's a few minutes after midnight. I made it about a mile in an hour, not great, but it is what it is. There's another 0.6 miles or so to go. My phone is getting caked with ice at this point, but surprisingly, it keeps working throughout the whole trip without any issues. Time to make my way back. I can actually see my trail this time, so I use my previous steps to try and make my walk a little easier. I'm starting to struggle but no, I can't stop. Eventually, I make it back to Genesee Street and see a front loader messing around with some snow, I'm assuming for emergency vehicle traffic. His windows are all iced over and fogged up, and I can't tell if he even sees me. I've got my mission, so I stay the hell out of his way and keep going. I give a wave and a thumbs up and continue making my way home. I cross Genesee quickly because now I know the plows are out, and I need to stay out of their way. Back in my neighborhood. My trail is gone, but I know where I'm going, or at least I think I do, so I keep making my way. I take a pit stop to call my girlfriend at home, letting her know I'm okay and all that jazz so she can relax. The phone call ends, and I continue on. Snow is piling up on my visor, and I've been constantly raising and lowering it throughout this whole trip. Fog and ice are really blocking my vision, so I essentially have to keep the visor up to see, only lowering it now and then to catch my breath or block the heavy snow gusts. My progress is really slowing, and my right leg is starting to hurt. Feels like I'm pulling something near my hip. Oh well, that's unfortunately not something I can dwell on while navigating the streets in a snowstorm. I keep making my way at a severely reduced pace and take a turn onto my street. Unfortunately, I was a bit exhausted and confused and made the turn one street too early, realizing it about halfway down. Weighing my options, I decide I can't really keep going forward without risking wasting even more time trying to get home. So, I backtrack to where I made the wrong turn and continue on the correct path. Eventually, I make it one street further and take the correct turn. I am getting exhausted, and my leg is really starting to bother me. No matter, gotta keep going. I hook a left and am on the final stretch home. The foot trail is gone again, so I'm on my own for making a path. The snow drifts are getting bad and extremely difficult to get through. I start counting my paces and can only make between 10 and 25, usually only 10, before I need to stop and catch my breath. Gotta keep going. That trail's on for a while. Eventually, I start walking right up against people's houses if the snow drift has made a path where there's less snow. I'm close to home but very, very tired. Thankfully, for the most part, the snow is at least at my back on this path. I keep struggling but can't give up. I am making nearly no progress, but I gotta get home. Eventually, I can see my house light but still have little energy to make it there. 10 steps. 10 steps. 10 steps. I'm close. I see the last section of snow near my house. 5 steps. My leg is really hurting. 5 more steps. Boom. Home. I am exhausted and ready to drop. I make it in the door, and my girlfriend helps take off all my clothes, backpack, and whatnot. I'm caked in snow but stayed warm throughout. I try to take my helmet off, but the snow caked onto the back of my head so much that my hair had ice in it, making it stick together. She had to melt the ice with her hands to get it off. I have her check me for frostbite, and surprisingly, there's none to be found, which I might debate. At the time of writing this, my ears are still a bit numb and have a funny feeling, but nothing of much concern. It's almost like the feeling of Novocaine at the dentist, but to a much lesser extent. Then I relax. She has hot cocoa ready for me as I walk in, and now I just get to relax. I earned this hot chocolate. Mission success, helped a man get home safe and got home myself. A comment from the homeowner who took you/Junzeman's brother in. Thank you man, you saved the guy's life. May Allah bless you. I'm the homeowner you guys came to help. For a second, I thought you were a first responder with your helmet on, lol. It's a happy ending story. The man stayed in my house for 2 nights, and he headed out home this morning. He even helped me clean some snow off my driveway before he left. He arrived home safely, though his car is still stuck on the road. Thank you once again. Second update same day. Posted by you/Junzeman. Last night, I made a post asking for help from my brother, who was stranded in the snow. After posting, I received lots of suggestions and advice. Then, out of nowhere, this man came and offered his help. Shout out to this kind human angel, you/Spore211215, for helping my brother out of the snow in Buffalo last night. This man deserves all the love, prayers, and gratitude for risking his own life to save a stranger. My family will forever be indebted to him, and I just want to help share his story in the hope of spreading some good news during this holiday season. Please help me make this local story known. Thank you, and happy holidays.